Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Erin Kuprewicz. That's me in a tropical wet forest in Costa Rica. Unfortunately, the soundtrack for this clip got corrupted, so I'll continue my introduction as a voiceover. I'm a curator in the Connecticut State Museum of Natural History, and I also manage the vertebrate collections in the Department of Ecology and Evolutionary Biology at the University of Connecticut in the USA. I call myself an ecologist and a mammologist, and I conduct research mostly in the tropics, in the neotropics or the Americas, and also in museum collections using specimens that have been collected from the field. I love getting to work directly with different species of mammals and plants. I grew up outside of Los Angeles in California and spent a lot of time during my formative years in museums and zoos, but not really in the wilderness. My family wasn't really into camping or hiking. However, I was able to take a tropical ecology field course when I was an undergrad at UC Santa Barbara, and the rest was history. I was completely hooked on tropical biology. Aside from doing research, for my job, I interact with other scientists, with students, and with the broader public to promote the use of collections in outreach, education, and research. Hi again, everybody. I've changed my scenery and I've come here to the University of Connecticut's Botanical Conservatory. So this is our living collection of plants, and I'm here in the tropical rainforest area, not in the field. I'm actually in Connecticut, so not in the tropics, but it mimics the tropics. This is also a good point to say, you guys, wherever you are, if you can't get to the tropics easily, seek out a botanical conservatory or some kind of botanical garden, or maybe you even have a living collection of trees or plants on your campus if you're at a university, and check it out and visit. For the module, Biting into Science Cookies, our overarching question was, are seed fates, so seed survival over time, affected more by seed size or by seed chemistry? And this is in the context of biotic interactions. So interacting with biological entities, in this case animals, that are moving and eating and dispersing seeds. This is a really big question in the field of plant-animal interactions ecology. So what traits of plants, in this case what seed traits, are affecting seed survival, seed escape from predation by, in this case, mammals, but it's also analogous to things, other animals that are eating seeds like insects. We have a lot of beetles and even ants that consume seeds as well. So this is a huge question in the field of interactions biology, seed survival and why seeds survive in really complex environments like those really typical of tropical lowland forests. What kinds of data did we collect and how did we collect those data? So we're muddy boots ecologists. We're on the ground manipulating seeds. We created these science cookies, which I also call artificial seeds, out of a non-toxic polymer clay and peanuts that we bought from the store. We created a fruit that mimics a drupaceous fruit, a drupe, and kind of put peanuts inside a clay football, basically. We attached a string to these seeds, like a 50 centimeter length of fluorescent pink twine, and we used camera traps to record what species, or what individuals even, were interacting with which seed. We changed the sizes of the seed, so we had 3 different size classes. We were able to replicate creating hundreds of these little cookies for agoutis to interact with, and we looked at how far agoutis were moving things in space. We would go back every 2 days or so to record which individual seed was moved where in space. And was it eaten? Was it a predation event? Was it buried under the soil by an agouti in a dispersal event, so a scatter hoarding event? These behaviors have really serious implications for seed survival over time. The main thing we found was that decision-making by agoutis is very complex. They weigh a lot of different plant traits when they're deciding what to do with a seed, to eat it immediately, move it really far away, bury it in the soil to protect it from other seed predators. But in all of that, they did not care about chemistry whatsoever. Size of seed was the only thing that mattered when they changed their behaviors. So small seeds tended to be eaten quickly. Larger seeds were moved really far and buried in the soil for future consumption. Concentration of tannic acid in every treatment of seeds did not matter at all to agoutis. They did not care about the chemistry. Either they didn't really consume the part of the seed that had the tannic acid, or it was just a bitter flavor and didn't bother them enough to care. Hi again, everybody. I'm coming to you now from a different location. I'm in a different type of collection here on the University of Connecticut campus. These are the biodiversity research collections in the Department of Ecology and Evolutionary Biology at the University of Connecticut. So this is where we keep our research specimens. We have taxidermy, like this giant flying squirrel behind me. We have osteological collection, like these bones that you see here. And we also have round skins. That's the majority of the vertebrates that I take care of here in the research collections as the collections manager. This collection is here and accessible to anyone who wants to conduct research using our specimens that are collected from all over the world, including a lot of specimens from the tropics and from Costa Rica. So this is a great place to seek out if you want to do any kind of research near your own campus or on your own campus. Check out if your campus, if your school has a collection, has collections of animals, of plants, like an herbarium. A lot of places have entomology collections, so pinned insects for the most part. But here at UConn, we have a great collection of vertebrates. So how did I come up with this research question to think about how seed size and seed chemistry affect decision making by potential mammal seed predators and seed dispersers? It came from looking at things in the field, in situ, we call it, in the place where it exists. So walking around the rainforest of Las Cruces Biological Station, I saw a ton of agoutis eating a lot of different types of seeds. Again, tropical rainforest, pre-montane rainforest. There are so many species of large seeded plants, seeds with different sizes, seeds with different chemistries and shapes that agoutis tended to eat. And I wanted to know what affected their decision making and how did their decisions affect the plants. So kind of this circular idea of what are the animals doing to the plants, what are the plants doing to the mammals, and how is that affecting both of those types of communities. Research is very rarely linear. You'll start usually with one hypothesis, one group of questions, and then as you're getting more evidence, you find new questions to ask, or something's not working. Some piece of equipment broke in the field. The animals aren't there when you need them to be there. The seeds, the plants aren't there in enough numbers for you to ask the questions you want. You have to be really creative as a scientist, and you have to follow what works. That's what I always tell my students or the other researchers I work with. We'll start out one way, but have the adaptability to ask other questions and to follow other lines of research. When one line isn't working, know when to leave it. All right. That does it for all that I have to say today. Thank you so much for paying attention. I hope that you come away with a greater appreciation for large, charismatic, tropical potato-shaped mammals and what they do with plants. If anything that I talked about here today was interesting to you, send me an email, and I hope to see you in the jungle sometime. See you later.